So Elon Musk recently stated that he sees Tesla hitting $1 trillion in profits every year. Now this was recently shared in a new biography that was written about Elon Musk. Now to put this in perspective, in the trailing 12 months we saw that Tesla had a gross profit of approximately $20 billion. And so $1 trillion is 50x where we're currently at now. But I don't want to go ahead and mislead anyone, because in this book Elon Musk did not provide a specific date or a specific time in when he sees this goal being achieved. However, my belief is that this could possibly happen within the next 10 to 15 years. Now, the reason I say this is because Tesla has a bunch of products in its product line that could create this sort of S-curve, which can accelerate the growth for Tesla. For example, recently we had an analyst on Wall Street finally acknowledge that Tesla could be much more than just an automotive company and actually should be looked at as more of a tech company or a software company. Now the main component of course is going to be FSD. Now one thing I want us to really just think about is just the accelerated adoption of new technology. For example, when the radio came out in 1920, it took America decades to adopt it. And then when we had the television come out in 1940, it took about 10 years to get 90% of American households to adopt a television into their house. And then when we had the smartphones in 2007, it really just took 5 years to get 50% of ownership in the United States. And so mass adoption of new technology is just accelerating at a faster pace. So FSD has the potential to scale up massively, and because of the fact that Tesla has been able to garner so much data and collect all these miles to go ahead and feed back into FSD, it's most likely that Tesla is going to go ahead and win the war, or rather not the war, but the race for fully self-driving. And we've heard Elon Musk in the past mention that he doesn't plan on hoarding this technology and just keeping it native to Tesla, but rather with the idea of licensing this technology to other competing vehicles. So competing vehicles in the future may have Tesla technology embedded into them, and so this could boost revenues significantly, right? This is where we stop seeing Tesla as an automotive company, but more as a SaaS company, right? A service as a business company where we just have a whole bunch of revenue coming in. But on top of that, we also have more products down the pipeline, such as robotics and a couple other products like AGI that I won't touch on in this video. However, you can see that Tesla is really having a hold on the future and being able to capitalize on all these lucrative pieces of technology that a lot of other companies are most likely going to be slow to the race on. Now, I do want to just emphasize that this video is slightly different from previous videos, as I often talk about Tesla or other stocks in the short term, and we talk about the short-term fluctuations in the market. However, I thought it'd be important for this video to really just talk about Tesla and really approach it from the perspective of a long-term investor and really just talk about it from that aspect. But I do want to give a shout out to Tom Nash, as he's recently made some videos similar to this topic where he touched on some ideas that I mentioned so far as well. So definitely a shout out to Tom Nash, who's a fellow YouTuber. But with that said, I also want to show you guys this video right here by Rob Barron.
The Tesla is now at a similar stage where it was in 2014, 2015, when I was investing 16, and they were doing 40,000 cars a year. They're now doing 1.8 million, on the way to 20 million. And they've been growing 50% a year. And this year they'll probably be up, 25, 30%. Next year, about the same. But there's a new car coming.
25, 30% revenue?
No, units.
Or units, okay.
Units. And then they got this, the battery business, which is $6 billion a year, and that's going to be up triple over the next 3 years, and that's going to go up 30 times.
There's been a lot made over the UAW and the potential strike that is facing the big three automakers here. And what's been brought up is they have all of these EVs that they have to deal with. Their cost basis is quite a bit higher than Tesla's.
Way higher. So, so every time they sell an EV, they sell one fewer gasoline car. And the gasoline car they make money on, and the EVs they lose money on. The traditional OEMs are troubled right now, and I think ultimately, they're going to make metal, they're going to make the units, and ultimately they're going to buy software from Tesla. Tesla is going to be like Intel inside of a Microsoft computer. That's going to be Tesla. So Tesla is going to be everything that makes the car, all the inside is going to be Tesla. That's what's ultimately they're going to be licensed.
Are you buying any additional Tesla or SpaceX, or have you kind of maxed out where you feel comfortable with your fund, which is a diversified fund?
In the funds that I manage, I've been maxed out. We had, when the stock went up 20 times after we bought it,
yeah.
We sold for clients about a quarter of the shares. I didn't sell a share personally. I committed to the directors of our mutual funds. I only invest in mutual funds normally. I made an exception in this instance, and I said I was the last in, I would last out, and I won't sell a single share for myself until we sell all of our client stock. And as far as buying more, I would buy more if I could, but I can't. And other guys at our firm are nibbling. They do things like, this is a great price. This is when they introduce this Model 2, they're going to have the cost half of what it is right now, half. And they're going to sell the car for, I don't know, maybe a third less than what it is right now, and there's credits. So this is Toyota almost bankrupted the whole automobile industry 20 years ago.
Ron, do you at the same time think that the big three have their work cut out for them? We're going to have UAW head on today, Shawn Fain, and what the rank and file are asking for, given the uncertain future of whether Americans ever embrace non-Tesla EVs. I mean, would you think that the big three have their work cut out for them? Would you at least acknowledge that, do you think?
I haven't studied the big three relationships with the unions. I don't own them, although I really like Mary Barra, but I don't own them.
Would you like to compete against Tesla?
I would hate to compete against Tesla. So Warren Buffett initially would say, said 20 years ago, 15 years ago, he said that he wouldn't invest in Tesla, and now he says he would hate to compete against Tesla. So to go on to this, so the Model 2, this is coming within by 2025. When that comes, that's going to be exactly the same thing as what happened when Tesla introduced the Model S. So you're going to see this tremendous change going on there. And then, as I said before, the software, core competency, Model 2 half price, and then Dojo. So Dojo.
Oh, right.
Yes, I said, what is Dojo? Yeah. So Dojo is a training. And what that is, that they have this massive amount of data for all these cars that have been driving around for millions and millions of miles, and that keeps growing exponentially. No one has that. So they have this data, but to crunch the data, you need compute. And compute is what NVIDIA has. And NVIDIA has a chip which is for everyone to use. They have all these different, all these different, opportunities that this company has. What our company has is they're making their own compute, and they, in 18 months, are going to have more compute than anyone in the world, Tesla. And compute is stuff that's in your basement as opposed to the chip that's in your car. So what they're going to have is they will have so much massive capacity to provide services to cars and to be able to train this data, to train your car on this data.
Right.
So what's the competitive advantage is the data, right, and the training is going to be provided by this compute, and they're going to have more of it than anyone. Nobody can catch them. Last year, by the way, you read about the number of people that are seeking jobs, and they're saying that there's too many people seeking the jobs, or whatever they say it is, with too few people. And what Tesla has is this year, I think they have 3.5 million people seeking 30,000 jobs. Last year, they had 3 million people seeking 20,000 jobs. So there's 130,000 people. So
But Ron, let's jump to another stop.
Now, Ron Baron basically destroyed the panel over here by just breaking down everything that's happening with Tesla and things that you absolutely have to understand if you're looking at it from a long-term perspective. But I feel like something that he mentioned towards the end just got brushed over and dismissed, and it's something that we shouldn't ignore. So towards the end, he was talking about how Tesla has a bunch of individuals, right, trying to work for Tesla when there's only a minuscule amount of jobs available. Now, this was something that Tesla mentioned in AI Day, I believe, where they talked about how they have the best engineers in the world trying to work for Tesla. Now, this is important because this falls under qualitative analysis, where you're getting the best of the best coming into this one company. And so this is also putting this big brain power behind Tesla, which is a competitive advantage around all these other companies like Apple or Nvidia or whatever company you want to look at. And so this is something that I feel like was brushed over, but we can't overlook. But besides that, Ron Baron pretty much broke down everything that's going on with Tesla that you absolutely have to know if you're a long-term investor. So I'm gonna leave it there. But with that said, again, this video was different from previous videos where I talk about the short-term price action, where we actually are taking a look at Tesla and discussing some of the things from a long-term perspective. Again, is Tesla gonna hit 50x in the next 10 to 15 years? I guess only time will tell. I'll see you guys on the next video right over here.